He woke up feeling normal. No pain, no dizziness, no warning that anything was wrong. Jake Miller was 32 years old, active and generally healthy. He had no history of heart problems, no recent illness, no reason to believe that this day would be any different from the hundreds before it. When he stood up from bed that morning, he felt a mild tightness in his chest. Not sharp, not alarming, just enough to notice. He paused for a moment, took a slow breath, and waited for it to pass. It did. Jake told himself it was nothing, stress maybe, a poor night's sleep, something he had eaten too late. He had meetings that day, deadlines, a routine that did not leave much room for worry. So he showered, got dressed, and went to work. Outside, the city moved the way it always did. Traffic flowed, people walked with purpose. Nothing in the air suggested that something irreversible had already begun. Throughout the day, Jake felt mostly fine. He answered emails, sat through meetings, made small jokes with coworkers. He drank coffee, ate lunch, checked his phone. The tightness returned once or twice, subtle enough that he barely acknowledged it. He shifted in his chair, rolled his shoulders, took another breath. Each time, the feeling faded. This is how serious problems are often ignored, not because they are invisible, but because they are quiet. Inside Jake's body, something was changing. A blood clot was forming, slowly restricting the flow of blood to his heart. It did not announce itself. It did not cause sudden pain. It worked silently. Jake had no way of knowing that every minute mattered. By late afternoon, he felt tired in a way that sleep would not fix. A heaviness settled in his body, difficult to explain. He blamed the long day, the screen time, the stress he carried without thinking about it. At 6:30 p.m., he packed up his things and left the office. He told a coworker he would see them tomorrow. That evening, Jake went home and followed the same routine he always did. He heated leftovers, sat on the couch, scrolled through his phone while the television played quietly in the background. The tightness returned again. This time, it lasted longer. Jake placed a hand on his chest and leaned forward slightly. His breathing felt heavier, but not difficult. There was no sharp pain, no reason to panic. He told himself that if it got worse, he would deal with it then. This moment, this hesitation, is where many stories end. By the time the body demands attention, the window to prevent damage is already closing. At 9:42 p.m., Jake stood up from his desk to get a glass of water. He did not make it to the kitchen.
When Jake collapsed, there was no warning, no dramatic moment, no cry for help. His body simply gave out. Coworkers later said he had seemed fine all day, calm, normal, alive in the way people assume will continue. Emergency responders arrived quickly. Doctors would later confirm what had happened. Jake had suffered a silent heart attack, one that began hours earlier, one that showed symptoms easy to dismiss, one that could have been treated if it had been recognized in time. The clot had fully blocked blood flow to his heart. By the time help arrived, the damage was already done. Jake was pronounced dead later that night. He was 32 years old. Doctors often explain that the most dangerous medical emergencies are not the loud ones, they are the subtle ones. The discomfort that fades, the pain that does not feel serious, the warning signs that feel inconvenient to acknowledge. Chest tightness, unusual fatigue, shortness of breath. These symptoms are easy to explain away, especially in younger people who do not expect something to be wrong. Jake did what many people do. He waited, and waiting cost him his life. If there is one lesson in Jake Miller's story, it is not fear, it is attention. Your body speaks quietly before it screams. It gives chances before it gives consequences. Doctors say this often for a reason. Never ignore chest pain. Never assume you were too young. Never wait for symptoms to become unbearable before asking for help, because some emergencies do not give a second warning. Jake felt fine all day, and at 9:42 p.m., his story ended.